we are going to start actually laying down tonight. We're going to have a little bit of a slower practice. We'll still start with some sun salutations and things that you guys are used to at this point, but we're going to do a little more of a deep stretch class. So this will be kind of like designed for athletes or runners or anybody, even just if you're not an athlete, but you sit at a desk all day and your body's really tight and stiff and sore just from being in one position for a long time. So we're going to start laying down on the mat today. You can lay however you're comfortable. You can keep your knees bent if that feels best, especially on your lower back. Or if you'd like, you can go ahead and lay your legs out long, come into a little mini Shavasana to begin our practice today. And just wiggle around until you are as comfortable as you can be. And then you might close down your eyes or find a soft gaze toward the sky, toward the ceiling. And just start to let your focus turn inward. Start with your physical body. Notice how you are feeling physically in this moment. Notice what kinds of sensations are present in your body. You can even do a little brief body scan from head to toe, moving your awareness all throughout the body. Noticing places where you feel soreness and tension and tightness. And also noticing places where you feel temperature. Notice places where you feel your body connected to the earth below. Where you feel the sensation of clothes resting on your body, on your skin. Maybe you can feel the breath moving in and out. The heart beating. Noticing how quickly you can start to feel a little more grounded and a little more at ease just by checking into the body. Taking your awareness from wherever it was floating around in your day, dropping it into the physical body. Notice how grounded that makes you feel. Feeling into your body here now. And then go ahead and shift your awareness to your breath. And just like our practices all before tonight, breathe in and out through your nose if you can. Let your breath be fairly easy and natural to begin. But breathe in and out through your nose. Making any observations about your natural breath. If it's fast or slow, deep or shallow, warm or cool, easy or restricted. And then maybe starting to slow your breath down with a little bit more effort, a little bit more intention. Start breathing in through the nose, drawing the breath all the way down into the throat, into the chest, and then all the way down into the ribs and the low belly. And then as you exhale, let the belly soften, let the chest fall. Squeeze out every last drop of air. Taking big, full, slow inhales and exhales. And in a moment, I'm going to start guiding you through what we call the box breath, Samavriti Pranayama, box breathing or equal part breath. So what you're going to do is follow my count to 4 as you inhale. Pause for a count of 4 at the top after the inhale. Exhale to a count of 4. And then pause again at the bottom for a count of 4. So you can imagine drawing a box in your mind as you inhale, pause, exhale, and pause. Last week, we did the 4-count breath without the pauses. So it was just a straight up and down, inhale and exhale. Now we've got the pauses added to the mix. So you'll get to see how that feels in the body. Stay with me to the best of your ability without trying too hard. If you need to go to a count of 3 or a count of 5, feel free to tune me out and count for yourself. So let's start with a big full breath just to start all together and get synced up. Let it go. Exhale completely. And then let's begin. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Full breath. And then take a moment just to breathe the way that your body wants you to breathe. Notice how you feel in body and in mind. And then when you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe roll your wrists, turn your head from side to side. And then take a full body stretch. Reach your arms overhead, legs out long, get as long as you can through the body. And then when you're ready, start to bend your knees, hug your knees into your chest. Wrap yourself up in a big hug. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side, left to right, massaging the lower back. From here, keep your right knee hugged into the body. Extend your left leg out long on your mat. Push the back of your left leg down into the mat. Give the right knee a tight squeeze. Roll your right ankle 5 times in one direction. And 5 times in the other direction. And then let's take the hands behind the right thigh. Extend your right leg up toward the sky. And then rebend the knee. Extend it up and rebend the knee. 3 more. Up and bend. Up and bend. 1 more. Good. And then let's hold the leg up. And it doesn't need to go straight, but it can. Now 5 times you're going to point and flex your toes. And then 5 times wave your toes from left to right as far as you can go. Good, and then let's come into figure 4 stretch. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, bringing that left knee into the body. You're gonna take your hands now over to the left thigh or left shin if you've got a little more spaciousness in the body here. And let's stay for about 3 slow breaths. Figure 4 stretch, right ankle over left knee. Try to keep your face and jaw relaxed, teeth unclenched. Good. And when you're ready, release your hands from behind the left leg. You're going to take your right leg, cross it all the way over your left leg as if you were sitting in a chair, and then open up your arms to a T or a goalpost and let your knees drop over to the left side for a spinal twist. You can either look straight up or you can look over your right arm if that feels good. And breathe here. If it's a little too intense to have the legs crossed, you can always uncross the legs as well. And when you're ready, come back to center, bring the knees back in, uncross the legs. Now you're gonna keep your knees hugged into your chest, lift your head and your arms, reach forward out past to the feet. 20 yogi bicycles, let's wake up the core. Let's take the right leg out long and then switch. Hovering the legs as they extend above the mat, not setting them down. Alternate, pulling the knees into the body. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, keep going. Keep the shoulders lifted up off the mat and breathe. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hug the left knee in, right leg long, set the head down, push the back of your right leg into the mat. Give the left knee a tight squeeze. Roll your left ankle 5 times in one direction. And 5 times in the other direction. And then your hands are going to come behind the left thigh. Extend your left leg up toward the sky. And then bend it 5 times. Extend up and bend. 3, 4, and 5. Hold it up. It does not have to be straight. It can be bent as much as you need. Keep pushing the back of the right leg down, and then 5 times point and flex the left toes. And then wave your toes from left to right, as far as they can go in each direction. All right, and then let's find figure 4 stretch, crossing the left ankle over the right knee this time, switching the hands over to the right thigh, or taking them to the shin if that feels better. And we'll spend about 3 breaths here. When you're ready, you can release your hands from the right leg, open the arms up to a T or a goalpost shape. Cross the left leg all the way over the right now. So it's again like you're sitting in a chair with the knees crossed rather than the ankles. The knees are going to drop over to the right side this time. You can look over your left arm or keep your gaze straight up. And if it's a little too intense to have the legs crossed, again, you can just uncross your legs and that'll make it a little gentler. Let's take a couple of breaths here. In and out through the nose. When you're ready, come back to center. Let's take the arms down by the sides, palms to the mat. Take your legs straight up to the sky or as straight as they can go. Big toes stay connected. Now we're going to lower down the legs, hover them above the mat, and lift back up 20 times. 2, 3, lifting up. 4, 5, keep breathing. Try not to rush it. 6, 7, try not to let the low back lift up too far off the mat. 9, 10, halfway there. 11, 12, 13, 14, you can do it. 15, here's 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Let's find a happy baby. Take your feet out wide with the knees bent. Grab a hold of either the inside or outside edges of the feet, big toes or ankles, whatever works for you. And give yourself a little bit of freedom to rock from side to side here. Happy baby. You can either keep rocking just like this. You could bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide if that feels good. You could extend one or both legs out long if you'd like, alternating or both at the same time. Let's take 1 or 2 more breaths. And then bring your knees back into your chest. Take your hands behind your thighs. Let's start to rock and roll up and down the spine 3 to 5 times, building momentum. On the last one, you're going to cross your ankles, come over your feet to your hands, step or hop back to plank, and then very slowly bend your elbows and lower down all the way to your belly. All right, we're going to take a series of back bends here. We're going to start with baby cobra. Begin by squeezing your heels together back behind you. Look down toward the floor so your neck is not cranked to look forward. The back of your neck is nice and long. Hands are by the lower ribs, closer to the hips than the shoulders. Your elbows are squeezing together, and you're going to start to lift your head and your chest up off the mat. Keep squeezing the heels. Notice how that activates the glutes. And then push your elbows up toward the ceiling. All right, let's take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, lower down, tap your nose or your forehead to the mat. And we'll do it again. Baby cobra, inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Lift as high as you can. And exhale. Push back to a child's pose. Sit back on your heels. Drop your head and your chest down. And let's take 2 breaths. All right, as you're ready, come up through tabletop and then bend your elbows lower slowly down onto your belly once again. All right, we're gonna come up for a little higher cobra this time. Start with baby cobra, start with that good foundation. Squeeze the heels, lift the head and the chest, hands by the low ribs, elbows squeeze back and up. Now give your hands a little push down into the ground. The arms will not straighten, they'll stay bent. You can come into high cobra or a medium cobra somewhere in between, but I want you to keep this action of pulling or dragging the hands back toward the hips, back toward your feet. So there's a pulling action going on. You should really feel a lot of work in the upper body. Let's lower down, tap the nose or the forehead, and do it 4 more times. Lift up and lower down. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze your heels. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, push back to child's pose 1 more time. Sit back on your heels, drop your head and chest down. Take 2 breaths. All right, as you're ready, come up through tabletop and down to your belly. All right, our next back bend is upward facing dog. So there's a really big pushing motion here. Squeeze your heels, same foundation, but instead of keeping the elbows bent, you are going to straighten the arms this time. Lift the knees and the thighs up off the floor. Squeeze the glutes as hard as you can.
And then very gently set the knees down, roll yourself down onto the mat, tap your nose, and then we'll lift up and do it again. Upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, slowly roll down. 3 more, inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Push back over the knees to child's pose. Last time. 2 big deep breaths. All right, and when you're ready, go ahead and come up to a tabletop. Let's do a little bit of wrist stretching. Go ahead and flip the backs of your hands together. I'm gonna face you. Flip the backs of your hands to the mat and the fingers point toward the center. So as you look down at your hands, you should see your palms looking up at your face. Fingers spread wide, pinkies and thumbs push down into the mat. Let's curl the fingers in now, as if you're trying to make fists with your hands. And then open the fingers up wide. Curl the fingers in and open up wide. Curl in, open up. Curl in, open up. Last one, curl in, open up. Flip back to the palms and let's find downward facing dog when you're ready. Tuck the toes, lift the hips and the knees. Coming into your first downward facing dog. Maybe of the day, maybe just of this practice. Maybe of the whole week. You can move around or wiggle around a little bit if you'd like. You can pedal the feet. Maybe shake the head no, shake the head yes. Maybe you choose to rock the hips a little bit from side to side. If you've got a lot of energy rolling around in the body today, you could even roll forward to a high plank. And then back to downward dog a couple of times. Let's take about 2 more breaths in downward dog. Move or be still, your choice. Good. When you're ready, take your feet out as wide as the mat so your pinky toes come all the way to the left and right edges. You're going to slowly start to walk your hands back toward your feet, coming into a wide or at least medium wide forward fold at the back of your mat. Let your spine round, let your head go, shake it no, shake it yes. Let the knees be soft here and just hang heavy in the upper body. You can wag the tail a little bit from side to side if that feels good. Or walk your hands all the way off to the left side of your mat. And then the right side, back and forth if that feels good. Breathing still in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, make your way back to center. We're gonna find Malasana Yogi Squat. I think we've done this one before. Bend your knees, sit down toward the ground as low as you can go, trying to keep the heels on the mat if you can. But if the heels are not ready to go down to the ground today, you can keep the heels lifted. It's just a little more balanced challenge, a little more effort to stay balanced if you're on the tippy toes. All right, so what you're gonna do is elbows inside the knees, or if your heels are up, it might be forearms inside the knees. 5 times, you're gonna push the knees out as wide as they can go, and then let them drop back in toward the center. Open up wide, and then drop in. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. All right, keep the knees nice and wide, lift the chest up toward the hands. Take your right fingertips down to the mat, keeping the arm inside the leg, inside the knee. Take your left arm up to the sky for a twist. Reach as high as you can go. Maybe even let the hands come back overhead toward the space behind you. And then come back to center, hands to heart, and we'll do the other side. Left fingertips down, right hand reaches up as high as it can go. Maybe it even has some space to fall backwards as you twist here. Good, and then come back to center. Last thing here, this gets a little challenging. Stay with me just as best you can. Let's take both arms up to the sky as high as they can possibly go. Really feel the whole back side of the body light up there. Reach up like you mean it. Inhale. As you exhale, I want you to make fists with your hands. Stack your fists one on top of the other. Bring the top one to your forehead and the bottom one as close to the ground as you can get it. See if you can get it to touch. Let's inhale and reach back up. And then exhale, do that same thing again. Make fists, tap one to the head, one to the ground. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Very nice. Let's go ahead and come back to downward facing dog. Walk your hands forward. Lift your hips up toward the sky. If you want to pedal out the feet again, go for it. When you're ready, let's look up between the hands, squat back with the legs, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. We'll inhale and stand all the way up, reach up, and then exhale to mountain pose. Shake it out a little bit. Roll the shoulders a couple of times if that feels good. Roll the head in circles if you'd prefer. Let the breath come back into the body, slow it down. And then let's find mountain pose at the front of the mat. Don't mind me changing sides. You can stay on the same side of your mat. Let's inhale both arms to the sky. And then exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands right under your shoulders. Step or hop back to plank. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bend your elbows, lower very slowly all the way down to your mat. Now you're gonna take your choice, either baby cobra, high cobra, or upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, lower back down, tuck your toes, push up through plank back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Next breath in, look forward between your hands. Squat back with your legs. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. From here, inhale, stand up strong, reach up high. Exhale, drop your arms, maybe shake it out, and we'll do it again. Sun salutation A. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend your knees, sit back, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower as slowly as you can. Inhale, baby, medium, high cobra, or upward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. Tuck your toes, push up through plank and back to downward dog. 3 breaths. Next breath in, look forward, squat back with the legs. Exhale, walk, step, or hop to a forward fold. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, drop your arms, mountain pose, shake it out. 1 more time, inhale, arms go up. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands under your shoulders, step or hop back to plank. Take a breath in. On your exhale, lower down. Inhale, your choice of back bend. Exhale, push up and back to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. All right, from here, let's just go into 3-legged dog. Let's go right into the next part of our flow. Take your right leg to the sky, inhale. As you exhale, bring your right knee to your nose. See if you can give it a kiss. Inhale it back and up. Exhale, knee to nose. We're gonna do that 5 times. Inhale it back and up. Exhale, knee to nose, coming forward like a plank. Inhale, 3-legged dog. 2 more. Exhale, knee to nose, push off the back toes. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Last one. Exhale, knee to nose. Now from here, very gracefully step the foot through between the hands. Take the right arm to the sky. Inhale, big twist for the spine. As you exhale, take your right elbow, the one that's up in the air. See if you can touch your right foot with that right elbow. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, right elbow tries to touch the right foot. Even if you don't get there, just try. 3 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and frame your foot with your hands. Either fingertips or palms on the ground, whatever works for you. Now take your knee and I want you to plug it into your armpit here, right knee to right armpit. Sort of like you're putting a baseball in a glove. And I want you to glue it there and don't let the knee come out of the armpit at any time. You're gonna inhale and look forward. As you exhale, pull the hips backwards in space, almost like you're trying to straighten the front leg, but don't let the knee come out of the armpit. 5 times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Breathe in and out. Hold it here. This is sort of a version of pyramid pose, but you're keeping the knee in the armpit the whole time. You can let your head go. Shake it no, shake it yes. Hands go wherever they need to go. If you need a little more balance, take the hands a little wider off the mat. You should feel this in the back side of the right leg big time. Okay, as you're ready, go ahead and bend back into the front knee. Set the back knee down on the ground. If you need a little bit of extra cushioning, you can always grab a blanket or you can simply double over your mat for a little extra padding there. I want you to come into a 90-90 lunge. So you're not in this really big, deep lunge where the hips are dropping forward, although that can be nice too. But for our purposes right here now, we're gonna come into this 90-90 lunge. Both knees at about 90 degrees. Hips right on top of the back knee. I want you to take your hands to your hips, squeeze the left glute. So the bottom leg, I want you to squeeze that glute as hard as possible. And then from here, you're gonna round into the upper back, reach the arms forward like you're giving someone a big giant hug. Drop the head, look down, rounding into the back. Keep squeezing that left glute. And I want you to be feeling a hip flexor stretch for your left leg. So on the front side of your left hip, that's where I want you to feel the stretch. Hold here. One more breath. All right, now from here, come back to a neutral spine. Your hands can come to your hips or wherever you need them to go. We're gonna find a little bit of a longer lunge. I'm gonna unfold my mat. You don't have to, you can go wherever you need to be. And then from here, either wiggle the front foot forward or the back leg backwards. So you've got a really nice long lunge here. Right hand is gonna stay on the right thigh. Left hand is gonna reach up toward the sky, maybe even overhead. Look off to the right side of your mat. I know there's a lot of left and right going on here. Stay with me as much as you can. Look off to the right side of your mat. Squeeze the left glute. Reach up and out of the left hip. So you get a little different stretch for that hip flexor there. Maybe some in the back of the right hip as well. Good. From here, bring both hands down to the inside of the front foot. Maybe wiggle the right foot over toward the right side of the mat. This is lizard stretch. We've done this one before. Both hands inside the foot. Now you can stay on the hands or come down to one or both elbows if you want to go lower, go deeper. You could stay on the sole of your right foot or roll to the pinky edge if that feels like a better stretch for you right now. And if you need a little bit of extra quad stretch, if your quads feel tight, you can keep the left hand on the mat and reach your right hand up and around for the back foot. All of these things are optional. Just find whatever works best for you. Keep your face relaxed, jaw relaxed, breath flowing. Okay, from here, if you've got a hold of the back foot, release it. We're gonna come into half splits next. Frame your foot with your hands, wiggle the right foot toward the center of the mat. Straighten out the front leg, walk the hands back with you. Right toes pull up toward your face. Front leg can straighten or the knee can stay a little bit bent there if you need to. Try to keep the spine nice and long. And we'll hold here. Half splits. Hips are right on top of the back knee. Right toes are pulling up toward the sky, toward your face. If you want to, you can even take these right toes and wave them from left to right a little bit. All right, and then from here, you're gonna stay in the same shape with your legs, but you're gonna hop this hurdle of your leg with the left hand. So now both hands are on the outside edge of the leg. Walk your hands around to the left or around to the right. What side is this? To the right as far as they can go. So you should feel now an IT band stretch all along the outside edge of your right leg. Slow down your breath. Take one more. Okay, from here, come back to center. You're gonna tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and step back to downward facing dog. If you want to, you can go through plank, lower down to the mat, take a back bend of your choice, and then push up and back to downward facing dog. All right, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left leg to the sky, inhale. Exhale, left knee to nose, give it a kiss, push off the back toes. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now come forward, step the foot through to the hands. Keep your right hand down on the mat. Reach your left hand to the sky. Inhale. As you exhale, take your left elbow. Try to touch your left foot. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, left elbow to left foot. Three more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Very good. Let's frame the foot with the hands. Plug the left knee into the left armpit again, like a baseball in a glove. You can always adjust the feet if needed. Sometimes it helps to step the back foot just a little bit forward. 5 times, you're gonna inhale, look forward. Exhale, pull the hips back. Trying to straighten the front leg, but of course not forcing it to go straight if it doesn't want to. There's a lot of stretch here in the back side of the left thigh. Inhale, come forward, bend the knee. Exhale, pull the hips back, let the head go. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, holding here for a couple of breaths. If you need to, you can take your hands off to the left and the right sides a little wider for more stability. Relax your face and your jaw. Breathe. And when you're ready, come forward, set the back knee down. Let's find that 90-90 lunge. If you want to, you can pad the back knee again. So wiggling the front foot backward a little bit so you've got both knees at about 90 degrees. Now you're gonna squeeze the right glute so your tailbone drops toward the floor. Your pubic bone and belly button lift up toward your chest. You should feel the stretch on the front side of the right hip this time. Start by squeezing the right glute. And then give somebody in front of you a big hug, big giant hug. Wrap your arms around, round into your upper spine. Look down. Keep squeezing the right glute as hard as you can. Gently pushing that right hip forward without letting the left knee come forward. Breathe. All right, when you're ready, let the hands come back, spine back to neutral. Wiggle either the front foot forward or the back knee backward and come into that longer lunge shape. Now let the hips drop. Left hand is gonna stay on the left knee or thigh. Right hand is gonna reach to the sky this time. Up and over your head, looking to the left, squeezing the right glute as hard as you can. So now you should still feel some stretch. Maybe it shifted a little bit on the front side of the right hip. And maybe you've got a little bit going on the back side of the left hip as well. Keep reaching up and over your head like you mean it, almost some back bend going on here. One more breath. And then we'll come to lizard, both hands inside the foot. You can wiggle your left foot to the left a little bit if you need more space for the hands. You can stay on your hands or drop down to your elbows if you prefer. Stay on the sole of the foot or roll to the pinky edge of that left foot. And then lastly, if you want to add the quad stretch, you can stay on the right hand or elbow. Reach the left hand up and over for the back foot. All of this is optional. Go where your body wants and needs you to be. There's no need to force anything that the body doesn't want to happen. If you've got a hold of the back foot, gently release it. Push back up to your palms if you're on the elbows, and then frame your foot. Wiggle the left foot toward the center of your mat. We'll come into half splits. Straighten out the front leg. Left toes pull up toward your face. Fingertips or palms on the mat. Nice long spine. Chest pushes forward, head and shoulders pull back. You can stay right here and breathe. Or if you want to, you can wave your left toes a little bit from side to side. In and out through the nose. And then as you're ready, you're gonna hop the hurdle of the left leg. Right hand comes up and over. So now both hands are on the outside of your left leg. Hands are walking around to the left side of your mat as far as they can go. And you should feel the stretch all along the outside of the left leg now. Probably still in the hamstring a little bit as well. But now you've got that nice big IT band stretch. Breathe in and out through the nose. I know there's a lot going on here. Stay with the breath. When you're ready, come back to face the front, bend into the front knee. Let's tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and either step straight back into downward dog or come back through plank. Lower down to the ground. Take a back bend. And then meet back in downward facing dog. All right, take the right leg to the sky, inhale. As you exhale, take your right knee to your right tricep. See if you can get it to touch. And then take your right knee down to the right wrist, give it a tap. Back up to the right tricep, give it a tap. Right wrist, tap it. Right tricep, tap it. Right wrist, tricep. Wrist, tricep. Wrist, and then you're gonna set the right knee down behind the wrist. Take the right toes over toward the left side of your mat so the shin is at an angle. Slide the back foot back, set the back knee and thigh down, untuck the toes. This is pigeon stretch. Now, if you've got any knee pain in the front knee, I'll give you another option in just a moment. So no need to force anything that doesn't feel good. But if you feel okay here in pigeon, you can drop down onto your elbows or stack your hands and rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. Or even reach your arms out long in front of you and drop your head all the way down to the ground. If pigeon does not feel so good for you, you can do a seated figure 4 stretch. Right ankle on top of left knee. We did this one on our backs earlier. Now you can do the seated version and see how that feels. Hands back behind you. Right foot flexed, chest pushes forward. So this is a good option if pigeon was causing any discomfort or pain in your right knee. Let's take about 5 more breaths here. In and out through the nose. Slowing down your exhales as much as you can. All right, if you need a little more time here, if this is feeling really good, feel free to stay. If you're ready to come back to downward facing dog, come up onto your palms, tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and then very gently slide that right leg back, either straight to downward dog, or you can take another flow here through plank, down to the ground, back bend of your choice, and then up and back to downward dog where we'll meet together. Left leg to the sky, inhale. Exhale, left knee to left tricep. Get it to touch. I know you can get it there. Take the left knee to the left wrist. Give it a tap. And then left tricep, left wrist. Tricep, wrist. 2 more. Tricep, wrist, tricep, wrist. Set the left knee down behind the left wrist. Take the left toes over toward the right side of the mat. So again, the shin is at an angle. Slide the back foot back. Untuck the back toes. Come down either onto your elbows, onto the backs of your hands with your head, or stretch your arms out all the way in front of you and set your head down on the ground. Again, if pigeon does not feel so good for you, you can come to a seat, place your right foot on the ground, left ankle over right knee for figure 4 stretch. Really similar stretch here, just a different shape, different way to find it. Let's take about 5 more breaths. From here, if you are ready, gently press back up onto your palms. Now, instead of going back to downward facing dog, this time you're gonna sit onto your left hip. Bring your right foot around to meet the left foot. So you'll end up facing the side of your mat. Doesn't really matter what direction you face, but you've got the soles of your feet together, knees wide for Baddha Konasana, bound angle stretch or bound angle pose. Grab a hold of either your feet, your big toes, the ankles, whatever works for you. Sit up nice and tall and draw your knees down toward the floor. If you've got enough inner thigh stretch going on here, you can just stay sitting tall, remain sitting tall. Or if you'd like to, you can sit really tall and then fold forward over the legs, any amount that feels good to you. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. Let's take 3 more. When you're ready, gently sit back up. You're gonna take the soles of your feet and scoot them a little bit further away from the inseam of your pants. So now you've got a longer diamond shape. Sit up nice and tall, maybe holding onto the shins or the knees. And then gently start to fold forward over the legs with a long spine. Finding another version of Baddha Konasana, and sometimes this one is called turtle or tortoise pose. And you'll see why in just a moment. You're gonna either stay right here if it feels like enough, or if you wanna try the full tortoise pose, you can take your hands, slide them underneath your calves. So the forearms come to the mat, and the forearms might not come all the way down. Maybe it's just the palms, but if you can get those forearms onto the mat, elbows onto the mat, and then you end up sort of looking like a turtle or a tortoise with your legs sticking out from underneath your shell. That's, I think, where the name comes from, perhaps. Let's take a couple of breaths here. When you're ready, gently unwind yourself, sit back up, take the legs out wide. And we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. Now your legs don't have to come super wide, just bring them as wide as the body wants to go. Toes up toward the sky. Let's start by taking the hands to the thighs. You're gonna gently push down into the thighs and roll the thighs in, so the toes turn in as well. And then roll the thighs out. Roll the thighs in, roll the thighs out. Let's do that a couple more times. This is really good for really tight hips. It's just sort of opening things up with a little more assistance and guidance from the hands. And you can keep that going if it feels really good, or you are welcome to find some stillness in the legs, sit up nice and tall, maybe even reach up, and then gently fold forward over the legs, any amount that feels good to you. Keep the toes pulling up toward the sky, feet flexed. Keep pulling the chest forward, head and shoulders back, so you're not rounding your spine. You're staying nice and long. We'll take about 3 more breaths. From here, walk your hands over toward one of your 2 feet. It doesn't matter which side you go to first. Frame that foot with your hands. Try to keep the opposite hip glued down into the mat. Don't let it pop up. Try to keep your spine nice and long, not a big side bend or rounding of the spine. So your chest and rib cage are turning down toward this leg that you're facing. You can let your fingertips or hands stay on the ground. You could even hold on to the outside of your leg with both hands. Sometimes that helps. You could hold on to the foot if you've got access, whatever works for you. If it's feeling perfect to stay right here, stay a few more breaths if this is what you need. If you're ready to switch sides, gently walk the hands through center and over to the other side. Hands slowly frame the opposite leg. Turn your belly button, chest, rib cage, shoulders all to face this leg as directly as possible. So there's as little side bend and rounding, more of a long spine here. Good. You can either keep the hands or fingertips on the ground, on the shin, outside the leg, on the foot, whatever you need to do to make this feel just right in your body. When you're ready, gently come back to center, sit back up, take your hands under the backs of the knees, pull the knees in together, and then you're gonna lay long on your mat. So turn to one direction, extend the legs out long, roll yourself all the way down onto your back. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop open wide. This is called Supta Baddha Konasana. So earlier we did Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Now this is Supta Baddha Konasana, and Supta means supine. So we're laying on our backs. If this is super uncomfortable for you, just go ahead and extend the legs out long. No problem at all. Otherwise, give Supta Baddha Konasana a try. Soles of your feet together, knees wide, perhaps with one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. You can close down your eyes if you'd like.
Slow down your breath. And really let your body start to relax. This will be our final pose before Shavasana. So I'll invite you to either stay here for the entire duration of your practice and let this pose right here transition into your Shavasana and let it just become your Shavasana. Or at any time the body feels ready, you can simply extend both legs out long toward the opposite edges of the mat and lay your arms long by your sides, coming into a more traditional Shavasana shape. With each exhale, feel your body get a little more soft, a little softer, a little heavier, a little more relaxed. Imagine as if your whole body could melt or sink down into the floor, enveloped in the earth. Imagine and feel the earth holding you here as you lay, supporting you in every way. In that support, in this place where you feel supported, allow yourself to let go. Allow yourself to release, to relax, to find some ease in your body and in your mind and in your heart. Know and trust that you are always supported at any moment, wherever you are, whatever turns and twists you may take throughout the day, throughout your life, you are always supported. Whether you can see it or not, you are always supported. See if you can find some trust, somehow find a way to drop into trust that right here, right now, everything is just as it should be. That right here, right now, you are exactly where you are supposed to be. And everything is unfolding exactly the way that it should. In that divine timing, you are supported always. Life will never take you where you are not supposed to go. Everything is unfolding as it should. In that place of trust, in that place of feeling supported, see if you can let go. Even if you can just bring one single cell in your body to relax. Even if it's just one muscle or one breath. Do everything you can here to let go. I'll invite you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like, soaking up all of the benefits of your yoga practice, all of the rest and relaxation, and all of the ease and softness. Come out of your Shavasana anytime your body's ready. There's no rush. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. The light and love in me honors the light and love in you. Namaste.